Welcome back to the show. And, it's all about empowerment, upliftment, and changing people's lives for the better. And this is what our first guest has really done. He's done it for himself and he's doing it for others as well. Let me tell you a little bit about Rudy van Dieman. Definitely a phenomenal young human being, 26 years of age. He's an innovator, always finding ways to help people and learning new methods of doing things that can improve his personal life. But I think he's taken that aspect of it and also used it to try and uplift others as well. So he's been working with different charities from the start of high school, which I think is really phenomenal because people starting at that young age, I think, realize the defined needs within communities. And he's then gone into starting something where he worked on the Table Mountain aerial cableway, and that helped him build his social skills and boosted his confidence. Because when he started off, he was a bit of that introvert. But these things that he's done has changed him in many directions. But Rudy's going to pen out this very interesting journey for us on helping others out, and that's what it's about. A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining me on the show this morning.
Hi, good morning. It's a pleasure.
I think from what I've read, and I was researching you last night, I think you're a true inspiration for young people out there that want to do things for themselves and, of course, make differences in the lives of others. Pen us your journey out. I mean, I'm sure, when we talk about and we look at Mitchell's Plain, I'm with one of the NPOs that does work in Mitchell's Plain as well. We try to understand the situation that the people are in that particular space and that area. So let's talk a little bit about that space and the situations people encounter. And the reason I want to bring that up is because it makes people understand why you need to do what you do.
Okay, so things in the Mitchell's Plain isn't as good as it is. There's lots of gangsterism. There's a lot of drugs, and there's a lot of young kids that are not supposed to be on the street. They're supposed to be in a school. They're supposed to be in a house, a loving house, and they're not supposed to suffer. And growing up, I truly understand the pain of what these kids go through because I grew up with these kids in primary school through high school,
Mm,
and it's truly sad to see your friend end up on drugs
mm.
and living on the street. So this initiative that I'm doing, it really something close to my heart and something that I really want to tackle and change in the community.
Mm. Have you had a turning point in your life when you were staying in Mitchell's Plain? What was it that made you define this particular need and say, you know what, I think I need to serve this particular purpose is to go out there and change many of people's lives in Mitchell's Plain? Because as we know, that it's not an easy one.
The turning point I would say is because my brother he was also on drugs, so it really broke the house apart. And at some point, you as the youngest, you look up to the older,
Mm, mm,
to your older brother and whatever. But he was always a good person, and he used to teach me well, and not and try to kind of force me away from that lifestyle. So I always think of him while I'm doing the hikes because when he passed away in 2010, uh,
mm,
my life basically just changed, and I said, "There's no way in hell that I'm gonna put my mommy and my dad through this,
mm,
what he put them through, and I'm gonna try and uplift the community, try to help my friends grow and support their families because the main problem now is a extreme high unemployment rate, and there's just no interest in working for
mm.
these young ones today, unfortunately. And the work ethic is extremely poor. They're not even willing to work 50 Rand a day because um, they just decide to join a gang, sell drugs, make easy money, and live a good life like that, which really is so sad.
It really is because I mean, if you really look at it, it doesn't change the situation. In fact, it actually makes it worse because there's always that easy way to do things. Yet people, I think, through yourself and the education that you've created is made them understand that nothing comes easy, but the rewards that come with working hard and pushing your goal onto another level changes things in many directions. I think your initiative is absolutely phenomenal. The 365 summits up Table Mountain, which started in January. Um, uh, I can't even do one, so I think we need to take our hat off for you because it's obviously done with such a major purpose. As I said, helping those people out in Mitchell's Plain in order to create Angels SA, which is going to be a safe haven for people like your brother went through, to be able to create an environment where they can turn their lives around and educate themselves and move forward in a direction that they never thought they could before. And I think you've given them that sense of hope through this initiative.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that you just broke up a little. I was trying to listen. Um, so sorry about that.
No, that's fine. So, like as I was saying, it's very difficult living in that type of environment. And I think what you're doing with the 365 Summit is phenomenal because it's something that teaches you to be selfless because you're giving back in the sense that you're creating the safe haven for people, to give them a second chance at life and give them that hope that they never thought they had. Um, where instead of turning to drugs and finding the easy way out, is making them understand that there's an essence to life and that the essence is going the hard way, the difficult way, facing those challenges, overcoming those challenges, and the fulfillment that you get from that is going to change your space and your environment, including your life and the life of others. And it becomes, should we say, a domino effect because you've started it, and once you start it, it's going to touch on to the next person. And when people in your area start seeing the results of what you're doing through the safe haven, it's definitely going to make them think in many directions where that element, that negative element that's there, is going to make them think twice of wanting to actually do what they really do.
Yes, and the thing is with the community and the mindset of the community is it's not big enough for people to escape the system that was put in place to keep them back.
Mm,
So what happens is that they do not support you immediately. They observe you, they watch you, and they give you a chance. So only when you become successful or you succeed in your project or the things that you do in life is when the people
mm,
actually come and and come up on board and then support you, because like
mm,
I've been
mm.
doing this now for a while and I haven't really got much support from the community. And
Okay.
what frustrates me, what frustrates me is that they have been reading the articles, they've been listening to the radio interviews, but no one really came forward and said, as listen here, what can we do to help build an orphanage that's in our hometown? What can we do to help you improve your health while doing the summits? What can we donate? And it hasn't been like that. And most of the support I'm getting is from complete strangers that's outside of my community. They resonate to the story much more than my community. So the problem with the community is that they do not see they don't have the vision. They do not come out and support the people that really needs it, and that has been a big problem for for
Mm.
for a very long time, especially in Mitchell's Plain.
Would you say that is due to the lack of education and, of course, them looking at what they're doing at this point in time as a norm of life? That's just the way it is in Mitchell's Plain and nothing's going to change. So, would you say we need to actually educate them into another space and make them understand that there is a better place out there for them? There are places where they can fit in and change their lives for the better. Would you like to hook up with one of the organizations that's doing some major phenomenal work within the Mitchells Plain area? I can actually give you their details if you'd like to, because they actually go out and they've taken a lot of people out of the Mitchells Plain area off the streets on the worst types of drugs that you could think of, from tip to crystal meth to everything. And have changed their lives around that today. A lot of them actually have degrees. So, looking at your space and your efforts, I would say that there is hope out there. And if you'd like, I don't know if you'd like me to announce it on the show or after, to give you the details of the organization that you can collaborate with, would be able to actually give you that direction and education. Because through that, they have a phenomenal success rate of about between 80 and 90% with rehabilitating people and making them understand that their lives need to change. But they have changed those lives. Those same people are now serving that particular rehabilitation center and helping others off the streets. So maybe a collaboration might be able to help you out in some way.
No, no, that I would appreciate that. And I like when you say that, they find this situation normal and things, but like the community, they normalize things that are not normal, so they
Mm,
become
exactly.
way too complacent within the community and just accepting that this is their life. There's nothing they can do to change it. um, uh, Blaming the government, blaming politics, blaming this person, blaming another person, instead of taking the initiative on themselves. So that is why I'm doing this on my own from Mitchell's Plain, and I want people to watch me. I want them to see my
Mm,
progress and how 1 year can literally change your life. If you can just focus on one thing at a time, dedicate all your time to that, I promise you a lot can happen within that time. So thank you very much.
mm,
For bringing up someone up in Mitchell's Plain and a collaboration, because I would really love that. I also would love to learn and experience what that process is, so that I can also learn and try and basically give that um, type
mm,
of, or have that type of mindset, and give that to the
mm,
next
mm.
person as well.
Most definitely. And I think your visions are very much the same. Your vision is parallel in the sense that, all of you want to uplift and empower and change people's lives and get them out of that horrible mindset. Because, as we know, drugs has a very serious negative effect. And it doesn't just affect the person that's on it, it in fact affects the entire family. And then I think that's something that people need to recognize. It's about the education where we got and make the people in Mitchell's Plain understand that they themselves, not just the person that's on it, that the entire family is being affected just by that one person that is actually taking substance abuse, and their lives are not getting any better. And I think we need to also educate the parents, because I think, when I was speaking to someone the other day, I said the norm of life is whatever the parent does is what the child thinks is the norm of life. That's just the way it needs to be. So I think we need to start with the mindsets of the parents, making them understand the implications of what's happening in Mitchell's Plain at the moment, and how much better it can be if we start one step at a time. And I think that's how we're going to start changing that mindset, and getting you to achieve, besides you doing the summit, which I think is absolutely phenomenal, because you're actually shedding light on the matter to say there's a situation in Mitchell's Plain which we need added support structures to get involved, to be able to make us change those lives of those people and make those differences, and turn Mitchell's Plain into a hub where people are doing such great things. That negative element will eventually start falling away, and that's what you're looking to do.
Yes, hopefully I can basically just be at that point where everybody can just come comfortable with the idea of Project 365 and speak to other people very comfortably about it, because I mean it's a project that the entire Mitchell's Plain needs to be proud of, because Imagine building an orphanage for over 20 to about 30 kids in Mitchell's Plain. That is amazing. That is an amazing feat. That is something so good for the community. I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to be building up relationships with lots of people
Mm,
throughout this year in hopes that we can, keep sponsoring the orphanage year in, year out, because the million rand can only do so much to
mm,
build up the orphanage. We're going to be needing people to be sponsoring the orphanage year in, year out for education, for medical supplies, for food, for clothes. So this is something Mitchell's Plain should actually be very proud of. And I want them to become very comfortable with Project 365. They need to share the Project 365 as much as they can. And by next year, I'm hoping, to continue doing good work within
mm,
Mitchell's Plain by um, getting out there, going into schools, explaining adventure guiding, culture guiding, um,
mm,
nature guiding to them, bringing them out of Mitchell's Plain. Because honestly, I won't lie, the first time I ever came to Table Mountain was my first time working at Table Mountain.
mm.
That was the first time I've ever been out of Mitchell's Plain, basically, and went into hiking and stuff. So
Yeah. So
somehow,
I so
somewhere,
understand your
something.
yeah. Sorry, I'm going to butt in there because we seem to be running out of time. Um, I so understand your situation, and I get what you're saying. What I am, turning to our viewers and saying is get involved with trying to make a difference. But if you'd like, I can send you the details of the organization. Would you like me to just give it to you on air? The name of the center that is doing such phenomenal work in Mitchell's Plain is called the Sultan Bau Center. They're based in Mitchell's Plain. They have a drug rehabilitation center which has between an 80 and 90% success rate. The UN organization is also using and implementing their particular structures on helping people. So I think what I'll do is post the show. We will divulge the details to you, Rudy, through the producer, and you can get involved with them. And I think once you ad hoc with them, you'd be able to reach out a lot much harder than you are right now. So I'm wishing you all the best, and thank you so much for shedding light on the situation. And we're just praying that that collaboration will make many a differences out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity that you just gave me. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can finish in good strength with and just build up my faith even more this year.
Most definitely, our prayers and blessings are with you, and you definitely have our support. And we're hoping that it all turns out for the better. But we definitely will divulge those details to you. You do take care, and of course, do stay strong. We see you have the right mindset, so keep it going and keep changing those lives.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
that was Rudy van Dieman, and definitely trying to shed some light on the plights and the situations people are facing in Mitchell's Plain. And I think it's about time we all hopped on board and tried to make those differences. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in